Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we are back once again talking a little bit about 100 Thieves, a little bit about their mid lane situation, given a pretty big roster update and one that I think a lot of people are going to feel pretty strongly about, maybe, hopefully, one way or another. Obviously some people are going to agree with this decision, some people are not going to agree with this decision, but as you can see up on the screen, Damonte did tweet out yesterday. This was, again, we've had tons of 100 Thieves news going on, new coach, new mid laner, tons of rumors and speculation going on. So Damonte did tweet this out after the news kind of became official yesterday that Abbedagge was going to be headed over to the LCS, head over to 100 Thieves, head over to their starting mid lane position. He did tweet out, gonna write something up within the next week or two about my future. When one door closes, another door opens. So obviously this does sound like officially Damonte is out at 100 Thieves. I know I had a lot of people asking yesterday, what's going to happen with Damonte? What's going to happen with Ryome? Is Ryome going to Academy? Damonte going to Academy? Who's out? Where are they going? What are their options? And you know, I don't exactly know, and maybe it sounds like Damonte does have a plan in mind, but we're going to be talking about today what his kind of his different options are, whether this is the right move by 100 Thieves, and what their kind of mid lane situation looks like going ahead into the future. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. The likes really help me out the YouTube algorithm. They help my videos get out to more and more people. It's a fast, easy way to help support my channel, my content. Also subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content so you guys don't miss out on anything we got going on in the near future. With that being said, let's get right into today's video. Again, Damonte talking about when one door closes, another one opens. So for sure, it sounds like a door is closing. It sounds like obviously 100 Thieves now has 3 mid laners. They have 2 teams. They have their 100 Thieves main roster. They have the 100 Thieves Academy, and it does sound like they're going to be going with Ryome in that Academy spot. This is not all surprising to me. This is not all shocking to me. I was telling this to people yesterday in my YouTube comments when they were asking me about the situation. I was saying I don't know what exactly they're going to do. We haven't heard for sure, but we know Papa Smithy, we know 100 Thieves loves Ryome. We know that they're probably riding him out. So my guess was that Ryome would be the Academy mid laner and that Damonte would be gone. Also, we know that Ryome took over that starting mid lane position from Damonte a couple weeks into the LCS season. They rode him out into the playoffs. He was their starting mid laner at the end. So I saw no reason that now all of a sudden, after they had decided in the regular season and in the playoffs that Ryome was better, that now they'd all of a sudden go with Damonte. That didn't really make sense to me. So that was another reason I went into it. Also, when you take a look at what's going on, I haven't watched a ton of NA Academy. I watched a little bit of Proving Grounds, but I'm not going to pretend like I watched a bunch of it. But from what some people are telling me in comments and everything, it sounds like what Ryome was doing in Academy is better than what Damonte was doing in Academy, that maybe overall Ryome does look better than him, and to me that would not all be shocking. I know the meta does not fit Damonte very well right now. I'm sure getting demoted once again can be a little bit tilting. I'm sure you can definitely lose motivation and stuff once you do get demoted to Academy. And yeah, in this meta where you have to go toe-to-toe in lane and there's just a lot of champ picks and stuff that don't fit Damonte very well, I would believe that he's not standing out, especially when he's going down to Academy playing with worse players, again, in an overall worse situation. It's not surprising to me, but it did sound like Ryome was actually a pretty solid Academy mid laner. It sounds like, I mean, Damonte's solid too. I've seen him have some pop-off games. You know, I keep up to date with all the results and everything. I look at, like, the KDAs and the stats and all that, but I can't watch all the Academy games and all the LCS games and all the LEC games and international games. Like, there's just not enough hours in the day. But yeah, from what I've heard, it sounds like Ryome was better in Academy. I believe it because Ryome definitely fits this meta better. But as far as LCS mid laner, I thought Damonte probably gave them a better chance to win in the short term, just because I don't think either one of them playing control mages is going to be good enough for 100 Thieves to get a top 3 spot. But obviously now with Abbedagge coming in the mid lane, he does give them a player who can play those control mages with the best of them in the LCS. He does give them a chance to potentially qualify for Worlds, and that leaves them one spot between Ryome and Damonte. Obviously, Ryome is going to be headed down. Another big thing here is that Ryome is 2 years younger than Damonte. Damonte is 23, Ryome is 21, so maybe you could make an argument there that Ryome has more time to develop. He's more of an unfinished product. Also, Damonte has had more time in the LCS and more time on teams like this than Ryome has had. Maybe Damonte has had some better results. Teams have probably looked better under Damonte than they had with Ryome, but maybe, you know, 100 Thieves, Papa Smithy, they obviously see some talent in this kid, and they think he can develop in the future. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it can't happen. I'm skeptical. I don't think Ryome is going to be the long-term answer for 100 Thieves, but, you know, they obviously see something in him, so I'm not surprised to see Damonte gone. I'm not surprised for him to be tweeting out that one door is closing. But what is that one door opening? Obviously, LCS spot would be what first come to mind for people, maybe Golden Guardians, maybe Immortals, maybe something like that. I think that's pretty unlikely. They all have, Insanity, Blaze Olive. They have other young mid lane options that they can go with that they want to develop. Again, guys that maybe are worse than Damonte right now, but maybe not. Maybe they're better, but also are more unknown and they could develop into better than him in the future. So I don't really see any of those teams bringing in Damonte, especially to be a starter in the LCS. I would be pretty surprised if he can go with that. Another option is obviously academy offers. I assume there would be, some academy option available to Damonte, at least in some capacity, whether it be an amateur team or a academy team or whatever. If he is interested in that, if he is interested in trying to grind back to LCS, but it is very, very hard. Again, for North American players, especially North American mid laners, especially for a guy who has kind of made it to the LCS before and he's had some okay performances. He's played on some pretty damn good teams. He's been okay at times. But also, it seems like he does have a little bit of a ceiling. It does seem like even when he's been on good teams, he has been the weak link. He has been the one holding them back a little bit. Maybe he can continue to develop in the future, but again, you could develop Damonte or you could develop a different mid laner that you maybe haven't seen hit a ceiling yet. So I don't know. It's tough. He's in a tough position. We'll see what happens. If an offer comes to him, we'll see what he thinks about that. It does seem like he has something decided, so maybe he's already decided what he's going to be doing. Another thing that we've seen some people do, like Golden Glue, who is in kind of a similar position to Damonte, North American mid laner who's kind of bounced around all these teams, having some mixed results, kind of looking like a weak link, like kind of looking like too good for a bottom tier team, but not good enough for a great team in North America, and you just end up in a really, really awkward position. And you end up in stressful situations. You're constantly fighting for your job. You're constantly on the edge of getting replaced. Another option is coaching. Obviously, that's what Golden Glue got into. That can be a much better gig. Obviously, a guy like Damonte, he is very charismatic. He has great speaking skills. I'm sure he could be a very, very good leader of a team. He obviously has great game knowledge, being a League of Legends pro for as long as he has. Could he be a great coach for some academy team, and maybe develop into a future LCS coach? Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think he could follow a very, very similar path of what Golden Glue is trying to do right now. And I don't know how good of a coach Golden Glue is going to make in the future or anything like that, but it's at least another option. It's at least another endeavor out there. Again, the other option that some people are talking about, I know some people tweeted at him like Bobkin saying streamer time. Yes, he could absolutely become a content creator. Again, I don't know how well he would do. I think he's funny. He has energy. He has charisma. He could probably be a good streamer, high elo gameplay content. He could make some fun stuff. I'm sure he could be very, very good at that. Maybe he could even do analysis like LCS co-streams, that type of stuff. But right now, he doesn't necessarily have a big following, I don't think, on YouTube, on Twitch, anything like that. So that would kind of be a tough gig too, because growing social medias, growing stuff like that, it could be very, very difficult. I think Damonte would be very good at it, but it would take time, especially a guy who, he's been making an LCS salary for a while. The money's pretty solid in the LCS, and then going to, maybe making a little bit less money, trying to grind out something new at the beginning, could be a little bit difficult, could be a tough task, but whatever he decides to do, I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to end up in a good position. Yes, this does suck. Obviously, I know Damonte is a guy who's very, very well liked by a lot of League of Legends fans. He has a lot of fans. People think he's funny, a good dude. People wanted to see him succeed, but so I do feel bad to an extent. I hope he gets an opportunity. I hope whatever he wants to do, he's able to do, whether he wants to continue playing professionally, whether he wants to try something else out. I hope he does get to do that stuff. But at the end of the day, he has had multiple chances in the LCS, and he has had, again, mixed results. That doesn't mean, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm not saying he deserves to be out of the LCS, anything like that. But he has had some mixed results. He has had opportunities to shine. Sometimes he has done so, like Clutch Gaming, going on that crazy run, getting them to Worlds, all that. But he went to Worlds, didn't look that good. He's had some chances in the LCS. He didn't look that great on 100 Thieves. He kind of looked like the weakest link of the team on Golden Guardians last year. He is a talented player, but he's had opportunities. He has made the most of them in some regards, but I think he could have been better. I think he needed to be better. I don't think he has a super solid case for, deserving or needing a spot in the LCS. I think he's a bottom 5 mid laner when he's in the league, and when you're in that bottom group, you're always at risk of getting replaced by the next big thing, whether it's an import, whether it's a young up-and-comer, or whether it's just a team wanting to go in a different direction and try something out, even if it's somebody at a similar skill level as you, just to, maybe get something else done. So, yeah, in the end, it's kind of crazy. Again, I know some people are going to be upset. I know there is a lot of Damonte fans out there. There's a lot of Ryome haters out there, and rightfully so. You know, I think Ryome and Damonte, again, are at similar levels. Maybe Ryome's done a little bit better in his recent opportunities. I think if you look at their careers, Damonte's made the most of his opportunities. There's going to be people wanting them to hang on to Damonte. People are going to be wanting them to hang on to Ryome. But in the end, I don't really think it matters anyway, because I don't think either of these two guys are the long-term solution for 100 Thieves. I really don't think either of them is going to be the mid laner that gets 100 Thieves to an LCS title in the future, that gets 100 Thieves to, Worlds, or getting out of groups of Worlds, or anything like that. So in that regards, I think they're all just kind of, I think both of these guys are just kind of waiting to get replaced anyway. So I don't think like getting to stay on 100 Thieves, even if it's in the academy or whatever, is necessarily a great situation for either one of these guys. Maybe if they make some big changes, maybe if they make some big strides, maybe if they just develop like we haven't really seen them do recently. But again, Damonte's a guy who's been in the LCS for a couple of years. Maybe he's gotten a little bit better over time, but he's still having a lot of the same issues as when he came into the league. He's still just not cutting it in certain metas, in certain regards. And when the game changes and your mid laner's kind of getting left behind, that's always going to be detrimental to the team. So I like the guy. I think he's a great personality. I think he's hilarious. I think he's a good follow on Twitter. Gives great interviews, all that stuff. But if I'm just, taking nameplates off, I don't think he has been good enough to continue to deserve opportunities in the LCS. Maybe it comes from a bottom tier team, but that's always a really difficult situation as well. Teams are always going to be looking to make the top 3, make it to Worlds, compete for LCS titles, and Damonte has proven to kind of not be good enough in that regard. So again, we don't know exactly what is going on with him in the future, but we do know it's looking pretty likely he is out at 100 Thieves. We'll see what the future holds for Damonte in the coming days, coming weeks. It sounds like he's going to be telling us about it soon, but he has not posted anything yet. But that is pretty much it for this video today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I would appreciate it so much if you dropped a like on this video. Leave a comment down below. What do you think Damonte should do next? Do you think there's a team in the LCS that he should go to, whether it be starting or academy? Do you think he should stream, coach, quit League of Legends entirely? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!